Good morning, truth tellers, and happy Sunday. Today is a beautiful Sunday morning, and I hope everyone is doing well. Today, on this video, I'm going to be addressing the topic of gaslighting. For those of you who are in a narcissistic relationship, marriage, whether it's a parent, a boss, a friend, a spouse, anytime you're dealing with a narcissist, you're going to be gaslit, period. There's no way around it. It is what it is. And here at Truth Tellers, what we do is we hit you with the truth, so to speak. We don't sugarcoat. We call a thing. We call a spade a spade. And today I'm going to give you some examples of gaslighting, give you sort of a general definition of what it is, what it looks like, so that a lot of you can be validated through these videos that what you're experiencing is not your fault. So I want to make that very clear right off the top. If you are in an abusive relationship, whether it's emotional, psychological, sexual, physical, whatever level of abuse you're experiencing, I want to be very clear that you are not at fault for doubting yourself, for being confused, for wondering if it's your fault, for having thoughts of going back. All of those are really natural responses to somebody who's been in a toxic, abusive environment. So I just want to be clear that I don't want you to feel any shame about how you may be feeling as it pertains to your relationship, because they are all very normal feelings when you're in this situation. Okay, so when you're with a person who is either full-blown narcissistic or just somewhere, way down on the spectrum of having those tendencies, they're going to do things to you, for example, cheating. Okay, if you have a spouse or you're in a relationship, cheating is a big one for narcissists. They're empty souls, and so they usually are trying to fill up this, bottomless pit, and they do it with different people, and it never works, and so that's why they're always on the hunt for new supply. So cheating is a big one. If you have ever caught a narcissist cheating and confronted them about it, their immediate response is almost always 100% of the time some form of gaslighting. They're going to minimize what you are experiencing. They're going to invalidate your feelings. They're going to flat out tell you that you didn't see what you saw. They're going to twist the turn of events to make it seem like it wasn't as bad as what you saw or found out about. And basically, at the end of the day, it leaves you, the victim, who has already endured this trauma, this betrayal, this heartache. You now, on top of that, are dealing with self-doubt. Was it really that bad? Maybe he's right. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it was just texting. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was just a one-night stand because he was drinking. Maybe, maybe he's right. Maybe we shouldn't throw away our marriage over a one-night stand. And you're going to sit there and you're going to rack your brain trying to gain some clarity when there really is none. So when somebody is doing this to you, it has a humongous negative effect on your psyche. It chips away at your self-esteem. It chips away at your confidence, and it leaves you feeling like you can't even trust yourself. Who can you trust? You can't even trust yourself. Now you don't even know if you're making the right decision. You're doubting yourself constantly at every turn. You will go into a decision, like, for example, let's say you find out your spouse is cheating on you and you decide you're going to leave them. If you allow them to engage with you on the topic of their cheating, they are going to use that time manipulating your brain and twisting the turn of events and basically doing a huge, mind F, if you will, if you know what I'm trying to say, so that you don't exit the conversation feeling any better. You don't exit the conversation feeling as if they're remorseful. You don't exit the conversation feeling like they get it. You leave the conversation feeling worse than you did when you entered the conversation. You leave the conversation wondering if it's your fault. You leave the conversation wondering if you're making a mistake by throwing away your relationship. They will have you sitting there believing that you are the one throwing the relationship away over this little mistake they made. And you will be sitting there feeling guilty. Is it me? Maybe he's right. We've been together for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, however long you've been together. Maybe he's right. Maybe, should I throw it all away because he made a mistake? That's an abuse tactic. You're not throwing the relationship away. The moment he decided to betray you was the moment the relationship was thrown away. You setting a boundary and saying, enough is enough. I'm not taking this. I'm walking away. I have self-respect. You're not going to mistreat me. We're done. That's not you throwing the relationship away. Don't let them place that ball in your court. It's not your fault. When someone betrays you, they don't get to turn around and then tell you, that your reaction to their betrayal is what ruined the relationship. Oh my God, I can't believe you're throwing the relationship away. Well, wait a minute. I'm just reacting to your abuse here. I'm just putting my foot down and saying, you're not treating me that way. I'm out. That's what I'm doing. You threw the relationship away when you decided to betray me. So be clear. When somebody is trying to manipulate your brain and get you to believe something like that, don't fall for it. It's not your fault. It is a huge gaslighting technique that all narcissists and abusers use. Okay? Gaslighting can look something like, why can't you just get over the past? Are we really on this topic again? Are we still talking about this? I thought we were over this. That's what gaslighting looks like. It's an attempt to minimize and invalidate your experience. And to sometimes, not in all cases, sometimes it's just like the example I just gave you, but sometimes they'll just flat out deny anything happened at all. You know something happened, they're denying it. That does a tremendous flip and topsy-turvy on your brain and on your psyche and on your mental health. They will do something that is so disrespectful and so hurtful. And, it seems like within a couple of days of you finding out this horrible information and you're, obviously distraught, upset, angry, sad, crying, questioning, all the emotions you go through when you find out that somebody's betrayed you. When you go through that, they will turn it on you again with the same technique they use when they say, I can't believe you're throwing the relationship away over this mistake I made. They will use that same technique when you're reacting to their betrayal and say something like, I thought we already talked about this. Are we talking about this forever? When are you going to get over it? I can't be with somebody who's going to just live in the past. I can't be with someone who's always going to be throwing the past in my face. That's just not going to work for me. And they will take this self-righteous approach to their betrayal that they just plopped this heaping pile of crap into your lap to deal with that you weren't expecting, that you were blindsided by, that you're now having to sift through grief and anger and sadness and heartbreak and betrayal and mistrust. And oftentimes, as you're sifting through all those emotions, you're also having to be a parent, be an employee somewhere. You can't just lay in bed curled up in a ball all day. So it makes life extremely difficult. We fall into anxiety and depression. And then to top it off, the little cherry on the top of all that trauma is your narcissistic abuser in your ear telling you, why can't you just get over it? Not, what can I do to help you through this? What do you need for me to help you heal? I'll do anything to make you feel better. This was my doing. I want to fix it, even if it means you're not going to stay with me. What can I do to make things right? No, you're not going to hear that. What you'll hear is, why can't you get over it? How long are we going to talk about this? I thought we already went over this. You're paranoid. I can't believe you don't trust me. I can't believe you're throwing the relationship away over this mistake. Those are all gaslighting techniques, and they're all one of the, narcissists have a little tool bag. If you can imagine in your head, they have a little bag of tools that they use all the time. Gaslighting is one of them. It's one of their number one tools. They're going to go do something really bad, and then they're going to tell you it wasn't that bad. They're going to throw the grenade, and then they're going to hide the hand behind their back and tell you, no, I didn't throw the grenade. You're paranoid. Why would you think so? I can't believe you think that about me. Wow. I'm really offended that you would think I would throw that grenade. And meanwhile, they threw the grenade. That is what they do. It's one of the number one tools they use in their tool bag. Okay? Don't take the bait. Do not try really hard not to question yourself, because it's not your fault, you guys. It's not. It is a huge cherry on the top of the already psychological abuse that you're enduring at their hands. And the less interaction you have with them, the better. So to clear things up, because I know it's really confusing. So what should I do if, I catch somebody cheating, or I catch somebody betraying me and they're trying to convince me that it wasn't that bad? What should I do? Disengage. Disengage. You're already in pain because you're already dealing with this betrayal. You're already in pain. That's a given. Do you want to suffer more? If you want to suffer more, you talk to the narcissist, because you're not going to feel better after talking to them. You're going to exhaust yourself trying to get them to understand the gravity of how they've made you feel. They're not going to understand. They're going to invalidate you. They're going to hurt you further. And you're going to leave that conversation feeling worse than you did when you started it. So the key is to disengage. It was wrong how they treated you. Period. There's no gray area. There's no, if you would have done A, B, C, and D, maybe they wouldn't have done it. There's no, if I would have lost weight, maybe they wouldn't have cheated. There's no, if I was a better cook, if I was prettier, if I was younger, if I had more time, if I was this, that, or the other. No, that's out. Healthy adults approach relationships in a healthy way. They don't risk the relationship over somebody else. And if they are unhappy in a relationship, they're going to sit down as an adult and have an adult conversation and do one of two things. They're going to work on the relationship with you to get it to a place where both of you can be happy, or they're going to exit the relationship with respect and dignity. What they're not going to do is backstab you and then blame you for it. Okay? So I want you guys to all be really clear that that's not your fault if that's what you're experiencing. That's an abuse tactic. I want to end this video just by saying that I hope you all know that no matter what stage you are at in this cycle, you're worthy of love and respect, and you should never have to sit around wondering what somebody is doing, wondering if they're telling you the truth, wondering if they're lying, wondering if they're cheating, wondering if it's your fault. That is not ever something you should have to experience, no matter how flawed you think you may be. You don't deserve that. And don't let anybody tell you